This lesson is 5.15 Designing Experiments. Today's aim is helping you create different types of experiments using one scenario. Today's going to be the last lesson on this topic. We'll do a quiz and then we're moving onward. So, let's get right into it. So you have this scenario. You're going to read through it and then you're going to answer what type of experimental design was used and then why do you believe this example was the type mentioned in question 1. So why do you believe that your answer was correct? Okay, so this is a randomized block experiment. Why was it a randomized block? So the blocks can be considered each restaurant. So there's 6 blocks total, and then there's 3 quote-unquote treatments for each, the 3 new food items. Notice there's no placebo in this one, so something that we didn't talk about, but you should know is that experiments don't have to have a placebo. If you're testing medication, you could just test the effect of a full dose versus a half a dose, or a full dose versus a double dose. There doesn't necessarily need to be a placebo. Alright, so the experimental design is the process of designing an experiment. Here are some more definitions for you: causation, control, treatment. We all have talked about these on Monday. Placebo is the new one, though, right? So I wanted to make sure you're all comfortable with this word because we throw it around a lot. Placebo is an inert treatment or substance that has little to no effects. Many times in medical research, the placebo will be a sugar pill. So, like, one group will get a pill that's the medication, the other group will get a pill that looks just the same, but all it is like sugar. Again, you're completely random, your randomized block, your matched pair. These are here just to help you and just so that they're local, available to you. You don't have to go searching through Google Classroom for them. One thing I do want to point out, right? Keyword here, right? A lot of you were asking me about the difference between matched pair and randomized block design. Remember, matched pair is a special case of randomized block. So if it feels similar, it's because there is. But the big difference is, right, these are broken down into groups by gender, right? It's male, female, and then half the males get the placebo, half the males get the vaccine, half the females get the placebo, half the females get the vaccine. With the matched pair, right, you may try to pair it so that age is similar, but it's not going to be like male, female, placebo, vaccination. It's really just going to be 2 people, one gets placebo, one gets vaccination, and that's repeated over and over. So in this case, the blocks or the groups are the pairs. So this has 500 blocks versus this one had 2. Okay, so you have this scenario here. Researchers are testing a new drug as a potential cure for COVID-19. They want to measure the effectiveness of the drug has on both different age groups and different genders. You have 500 volunteers, ages 18 to 65. How would you design these 3 experiments? Actually, there's a typo here, 600. So, once you're done, come back and view. So let's look. A completely randomized design, right? That's going to be 300 people in 2 groups randomly assigned. One group will randomly receive the medication, the second group receives a placebo. A randomized block experiment. Now, so we're going to break them into 3 groups, or 3 blocks, based on age. So we would do like a young, middle-aged, and old group. From there, within those groups, half the groups would receive the standard dose of medication, the second half receives a placebo. So 100 in each group would receive the standard dose of meds, 100 in each group receives the placebo. Now, the 600 volunteers are paired with a member of the opposite gender but with similar age. In each pair, one individual is randomly assigned a standard dose of medication, while the second individual receives a placebo. Does not have to be paired with gender. You could have just paired opposite gender, not with age. You could have just paired age, not with gender. Really, there's a lot of leeway, but the key is you want to make sure that there's pairs, and in each pair, one's getting the treatment, one's getting the placebo. That's the big takeaway. So now, For your independent work, you want to test whether remote learning has an effect on high school standardized scores. How would you design? Boom, following. Um, I'm actually going to add some more information for you guys just so you have a little more to work with. So we're going to say, right, you have a group of 1,000 high school students. So that's like your number of participants. So now you get a little more specific with what your designs would look like. All right. If you have any questions, reach out. Um, Other than that, enjoy the rest of your week. We're going to be a little light because we have Memorial Day coming up. So just reach out if you have any questions. But we're probably going to have a quiz on this topic next Wednesday, just so you're all aware.